Do you guys want to have a fully painted Trench Crusade Warband in 2 hours? Here, I'm just going through painting on Army Painter's Broadsword Silver Speed Paint on all the metal bits for the Warband. Running through super fast, pretty straightforward. I do the metal first because I want to go and clean my water cup out so it doesn't get all those metal flakes and all the other paint. And I'm going to take a quick minute here to show you how cool liquid chrome is on these guys. If you caught their video already 2 days ago, you can go see how I did all of them. I'm just finishing these guys up by very specifically and very carefully using this Molotov liquid chrome in some select spots. This stuff, it doesn't come through on the camera, but it genuinely looks like real metal, so you don't want to go overboard with this stuff. I'm stippling it here on the mask. I put it in a little edge highlights on the gun in a few areas, and I hit the little plugs on his chest. And again, it doesn't come through on camera, but it really pops, as much as I hate using the word pops. So now back into the main warband itself. We're going to paint all the robes. All the actual like clothing was painted Battleship Gray, the Army Painter speed paint. And then we're going to paint all the capes and the hoods red. And that red is Blood Angels red, the contrast from Citadel. And this is pretty straightforward. Just picking out, this is the unifying color for the warband. And you can see that when we do that over a zenithal highlight, we didn't slap chop or anything like that, we still get the really high contrast, and this red is just perfect. And now on this nun here, I'm purposely painting it on pretty sloppily, like I'm splashing it on the legs, I'm getting it on some of the arms, on the head, just so I can show you that you don't have to be careful with this method. And while I have that red out, I'm now going back to the ecclesiastical prisoners that we painted in the last video. And my brush is still pretty raggedy. And again, I want to show you, just like, don't be scared, hold your breath, and freehand some crosses on this dude's chest. I'm using that very tip of the brush that's sticking out, and just very carefully and slowly, almost like it's almost stippling really, am I painting these crosses. And that's one, and then here's the second one. This one I'm doing a lot more smaller ones because I kind of caught my stride here. And you can also see on the helmets here, I've stippled on that liquid chrome, and it almost, like, it looks like if you were to take a metal and like sharpen it or scrape off the top layer, like that's really how it looks. And now same thing as the other guys. We're just gonna slather everybody up in streaking grime. Like, this video is really just a review. This whole video series is just a review on how good streaking grime is. So we're slathering them. Like, we're not being careful at all, just covering everything. And we hit everybody like this. And I will speed all this up for sure. All right, and you know how it goes. Now it's makeup sponge time. I let this sit. Pretty much by the time I finished the last model, the other ones were ready to go for the makeup sponge time. And you see how clean this sponge starts off. And this is my last sponge, so I really had to stretch this one out. So you'll see just how much of this streaking grime we're taking off by the end of this. So again, I'm gonna speed all this up. Really, the only trick here is you want to try to go up and down and think about the way the light would hit. So I want to take it off the shoulders and his head and that arm more than I would like the underside of that robe. Same thing here, just up and down. And the reason we don't go side to side is it'll probably catch on those arms and bust the arms off. And you can see this is the nun that we were very sloppy in painting that red. By the time we get in there and get done blending in and removing that streaking grime, you can't tell that there's red on the pants. Like, especially right here in the shot, there was red all over the side of those pants. There was red all over the armor. And here I'm just coming in, no mineral spirits on this brush. I'm just feathering out the shadows so I can come in and just take more of it off because I couldn't get the sponge back in there. Okay, on to the big guy. A few things I want to talk about here. You'll see I have a different sponge now, and I'm using that on the skin to kind of push the streak and grime down towards the shadows and then removing it from the tops to almost kind of blend it in and create some shadows and some texture in the muscle lines. And with streak and grime, it's hard to explain if you haven't used it, but you can use it to polish the skin tone. So on these big flat areas, I'm actually like, I'm stippling the sponge and I'm wiping it. And you'll see that I got too crazy going side to side instead of up and down, and I busted this bell off. But here you can really see what I mean by polishing. It's just from that enamel, like the pressure from the sponge, you can actually create like a glossy shine. And now we're on the last step, which is just dry brushing. We're coming back in. I'm using mithril silver here, but any bright silver you have is all it's gonna take. And again, I'm gonna go pretty fast after I finish talking. You want to just hit all those metal areas again to make it pop. I would normally have let the streak and grime dry a little bit more before I started this, but as you can see, it's not a huge deal. And I'm even gonna go over the gold parts. This is a very bright silver, and even when you're looking at gold in real life, that gold shimmers. So hitting the gold with a dry brush of silver is only gonna make it look more realistic. And here we go. Here's the completed warband all together. Tomorrow I'm gonna have the anchorite shine all finished. I spent a little bit more time on that, but all together, including an hour on just the shrine itself, this whole thing only took 3 hours. So it's pretty crazy, pretty fast, and looks awesome. So stay tuned for next time.